So welcome to Tessa Van Way Fitness. I am so tired, but this weekend I went to a wedding. It was my brother-in-law's wedding. It was awesome. We partied for so long. It was so good. And I think the biggest thing that I took away from the weekend was how much I enjoyed just being with my family and just being able to love on them and have them love on me and just kind of having that connection. And I found individual time for every single person and all of that kind of stuff, and it just seemed like we really got to be with each other, so it was pretty awesome. But I am definitely tired because we got in yesterday and I went back to work full-time today and all that kind of stuff. But so I want this to be the first of a few different videos that I'm going to do this week on failure. And the reason why, sorry, my dog is just playing like crazy over here with a tennis ball. So she's moving like chairs and everything to get this tennis ball. The thing is that I could spend a ton of time on failure, and when I think about failure in my life, I have a lot of thoughts on it, because I feel like growing up, I was always under the impression that I was failing. And I don't know where that came from. I don't know what started that. I don't know what brought that on. But all I know is that there were many, many years where I was just constantly in turmoil over all the failure that I was doing. And for me, one of my biggest things that I failed at was health and beauty and fitness and all of that combined. I was just constantly in turmoil over it and just constantly believing that I was failing. And so it's interesting because I can remember one time that I ate every single candy bar that I was supposed to sell for like a concert fundraiser, and my mom ended up having to buy all of my candy bars because I ate so many of them. That was me. That was a lot of me. Every morning waking up with the whole plan that I was going to get fit and that I was going to eat healthy and that tomorrow was going to be the healthiest day of my life, and then get to noon, and by that point I was so starving for pizza that I had to go and get pizza, and I completely failed. So there were a lot of times that I completely failed in that aspect, in a lot of different aspects. And so I know that that can't just be me. I know that I can't just be the only one that feels like failure was a huge part, or is a huge part. I feel released from it now, but I hope that I can help all of everybody understand the one way that I kind of released failure. And that was by accepting the fact that it was going to happen. If we assume that we're going to try and not fail, and we're going to try our hardest not to fail, then we are losing the sight of the fact that we need failure to understand success. I needed failure to truly understand success in my life. And just what I mean by that is, I've been talking to a lot of my clients about the fact that, you lose momentum and you lose your role every once in a while. And I have to remind people, I have to be the person standing behind you because you guys pay me for this, but also because I really, really want to. I have to be the person standing behind you going, no. Like, if you start backing off, then you're only going to lead yourself down that path to complete being done. Because once you give up, or not even give up, once you start pulling back on how much you're working out, how much you're eating healthy, then it just gets worse and worse, and it starts a rolling snowball. And the fact is that then what happens is we have that feeling of failure. And what do people do when they have failure happen? They throw up their hands and they're done. And what I'm trying to explain is You have to go into it with the knowledge of, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it with my utmost discipline, and I'm going to do this with as much strength as I have. But at some point, when I fail, I have to embrace that failure. I have to say, I expected that to happen. And the true question is whether we continue after that failure, or whether we say, ugh, I'm so sick of that feeling, I'm done. You can go through 50,000 failures before you reach success. And it could be on 50,001 that you find that moment of success. And unfortunately, it's where everybody gives up, is they give up on the failure, and they say, blah, I'm done. And I did that many, many times. And what I'm trying to explain to everybody is that failure is one of those things. You need to take it, you need to embrace it, and you say, okay, I screwed up today, I screwed up this week, we went on family vacation, and I ate the entire vacation. I went out and I wasn't supposed to cheat today, and I totally had to cheat, or, whatever it is. I ate the entire cake. I ate the entire, I didn't work out. I stopped my working out. I'm so busy, I can't work out. You have to be able to take that failure. And if you didn't have that feeling of, ugh, then you wouldn't have that understanding the next time of, okay, I'm going to keep going because I don't like that feeling of failure. But first you have to embrace the fact that at some point you will. And the whole golden ticket is embracing the failure and going, but I'm going to continue the minute that I can. I want to encourage all of you guys to just really think about all the different ways that you put pressure on yourself for failing, and really think about whether, does it make you throw your hands up in the air and quit? Because it did for me for many years. And it wasn't until I learned that one day, 2 weeks of failure is not the end of the world. Because that, to me, is the stepping stone to just continuing to try. And just remember, this is a long road, but at the same time, when you find that empowerment to continue and you find success in those things, then failure doesn't seem so bad. When you're confident in who you are and you're confident in what you can do, then failure doesn't seem so bad. It just seems like, so maybe next time. And I just don't want everybody to throw their hands up and be sick of themselves because of failure. I want you to remember that it's just a moment. It's just a feeling for that moment, and it's something that we can literally use to make ourselves get to that next step. So I'm going to do more videos on failure. I wanted to be about today just about what your reaction is to failure. But in the next week, I'm going to go over some things on how I plant rules in my life to not fail. And there are very specific rules, and there are rules that you can follow, or you simply need to make up your own rules in order to find success and get over the hump of failure. And what's funny is that you can literally take this as, it's for divorce, it's for health, it's for school, job, family, whatever, right? Because failure is in everything. And it's how we accept that failure and go, well, it's literally just to get me to that point where I can understand and appreciate and have joy with that success. And to me, success is literally not throwing your hands up when you do fail, but being able to continue on after the failure has happened. And not having that guilt that brings you down. Just know to go on. don't stop. Whatever you do, don't stop. Love you guys.